How we doing, people? I'm going to try and keep this video as short as possible. Um, it's quite simple, actually, this program. It's what I've come up with in the last few days or so, but I've been trying to get my head around it and try and, weigh out the pros and cons to my theory. So it's just a theory, but I'm pretty sure I'm pretty close to it. By careful observation of the perps, the gang stalkers, all their different character traits, all their different emotional ties to the program, their, how can I put this? Their level of participation and their level of enjoyment. So here we go. I believe that there are three types of human beings in this world in terms of this modern setting that we are facing. The first is the compliant human being who complies with what's happening on the larger scale in the world. The second being the one that doesn't really agree but goes along with the current just for their own, to save their own skin. So they shove their own moral codes and their own beliefs aside to save their own skin. And then you got the third, which is the target individual, who even at the face, even while facing certain death and all these torturous methods and everything else imposed upon us, we still will not go along with the current. We are defiant. We are resistant. And I believe this is a character trait that is not by choice. This is something that is within your genes, within your genetics, within your own makeup, within your own mind process, the way your thoughts analyze the world around you. And if you want to observe someone, these character traits will show up in even the smallest environments of life, the smallest scenarios. For example, you go to the shop, and you usually go to the shop and buy a bottle of water with a nozzle on it so you can pump it up and close it down. And that's your routine. That's what you want to buy. You're not going to waver. Even if that shop doesn't have that bottle, you'll go to another shop. If that shop doesn't have it, you'll keep going until you get what you want. You won't settle for second or third best. You won't settle for nothing but what you want. Now, I don't know. I don't think that's wrong. Having your own mind, having your own desires, and not bending over to them. But I've also been taught to try and keep an open mind and to wear the other person's shoe. So my mum's always taught me to kind of try and see things from another perspective. And I've also enhanced on that understanding by just researching about indigenous cultures and how they used to track animals. And the first key point that all indigenous trackers say was to get inside the mindset of that animal, to see how that animal works, how it operates, how it thinks, what foods it goes after, where it rests. So to get into that mindset of that animal, to track it down and hunt it. So I've also done that with the perps, aka gang stalkers, aka community watch groups, or whatever you want to call them, civilian spies, etc., etc. So I've tried to see things from their perspective, even in terms of these dark and shrouded occultist understandings. I've tried to view the point of Satanism from an external point of view, from outside of my perspective, from their perspective. But I still can't see how people will love to disconnect from the source, regardless of how deep that concept of Lucifer goes, whether it's just the good and bad, Satan or the devil with the horns and the red man, and his defiance against God, the creator, the source, the great self, Ilahi, Allah, whatever your preference is for the creator and sustainer of our existence as a whole. You know, this subject, you can go deep and deep and deeper into it, or you can simplify it. And I'm guessing that they look at us TIs and people that oppose their ways as people that are closed-minded, as people that are resisting change, as people that don't want to evolve, that are primitive, that are set in their ways and holding on to a lifestyle which cannot be sustained. You know, you've got to try and see things the way they see it, the way they've been taught to see things, the way they are spoken to, the way they are indoctrinated, the way they are conditioned. And I'm guessing that's how you'll understand the bigger picture. Now, I'm just crawling in terms of understanding what I'm saying. Still got to stand up and lean on objects to balance myself and stand, and then walk, and then run, and then fly. No, but yeah, we'll just keep it at the running part for now. But yeah, I'm just trying to wrap my head around their understanding and how they view things, and I'm guessing that'll be a good place to start for TIs to start doing. I believe I've been drugged again, so when I'm drugged, I don't know what they give me, but I start stuttering and umming and ahhing and losing my thought processes and having no dialogue in what I'm saying and just jumping around. So I'm very careful of what I ingest in my home and whatnot, but they're very crafty and they're very clever at what they do. You know, for all I know, they could be spraying this stuff on my pillow and I could be inhaling it when I'm sleeping. I don't know. And to me, that's a very paranoid mindset, but how can you not have these paranoid thoughts and oh, maybe it's this or maybe it's that when you are a TI? It's virtually impossible because they're playing at our human nature, our human instinct. This is the way our mind is wired. If we're placed in a situation, in an environment where things are happening and we're trying to make sense of it, and you're trying to work out things, you're going to automatically be put on that paranoid footing. And I know that there's a lot of negative association with that word paranoid, but I believe that being paranoid is actually a good thing if you have grips on it. You know, because like everything else, it can be your worst enemy or it can be your best friend. So I'm guessing we need to try and work with our emotions and the way we as human beings react and start to understand the way our mind works, because they know us inside out. They know what makes us tick. And I do understand to a certain level of understanding that TIs are somewhat an anomaly. We don't fully tick all those boxes that they've studied and researched over these many, many years in psychiatry and how the human mind reacts. So we are sort of reacting outside of what they've studied and catalogued and documented and researched. But, you know, putting all that aside, we are still human beings and we still do have these reactions, these instinctual reactions that they are aware of. And they, to a degree, they know how our mind ticks. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to use these remote neural monitoring shit and all these dream manipulations and all these psychological Jedi mind tricks on us if they didn't know how the mind works. Now, I'm a novice when it comes to things like this. I mean, I'm no bloody expert, but I'm like everyone else that's being targeted. I'm trying to make sense of it all. And yeah, I guess some people say be careful what you read. Don't read too much. Stay off the internet. Try not to watch too many videos. But I believe the opposite. If you know yourself, you can read anything, digest it, sift through it, filter out all the bullshit, and discern whether it's right or wrong, or whether it's bullshit or facts. So that's just my understanding at the moment. And despite being in a lot of physical pain and being extremely tired and flat and weathered down, there's just this spirit inside me that refuses to fold, refuses to die, and without getting a justifiable answer. And I think that's what makes it a lot harder for us TIs, is because we have that in us, that natural resistance. I don't know. I could be just rambling and rambling and just talking crap, but yeah, that's just my thoughts for today. And yeah, to all those TIs around the world struggling and going through the shit, I really feel with you guys, because yeah, I'm going through it 24 hours a day. And to those perps and gang stalkers and community watch groups who feel that they're making a difference in the world, I'm starting to feel sorry for them. Because even though that I'm pinned down and every aspect of my life is monitored, everywhere I go, my house is constantly broken into, all my possessions are vandalized, all my possessions are carefully, you know, looked at and monitored. I got no privacy. At least I know that I'm free in my mind, regardless of being drugged. You know, being drugged is probably the worst fucking thing. You know, it's next to being hit with directed energy weapons. But to me, I rather have my sanity and the full capabilities of my mind above anything else. And it really does bother me when they start drugging me and taking that away from me. Because I'm not able to function. I'm not able to view the world and navigate through all the bullshit. So, if anyone has any ideas on how to filter your body out and be careful, or if you know what they put the drugs in to get it into your system, please just leave a comment down below, because I'm very confused in that aspect, because I'm very careful, but they still manage to get it in me. So yeah, thanks for watching, people, and yeah, salute.